Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Alright, I think we're good to go. Let's pop that back up. Just text someone real quick. She's probably watching fireworks. Okay, so let's take a look. Oh, I don't know. Parrot life. Huh? What's going on? All right, let's search.
You think it's murder? Clearly it's murder.
Thank you for the host. Alright, let me play that again.
You think it's murder? Clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
No, just chilling. I mean, it's the 4th. Okay, so for me, I was explaining to someone today that I didn't like, I'm not anti-America at all. Like, not at all. It's just, I have huge ears. I don't know if you can see, but I don't like fireworks just because as a kid I used to cover my ears and scream, but I love America. I love the 4th. I just don't like fireworks. So. It's a murder mystery.
That's me. But February, that was months ago. Was that got to do with Simon's murder?
What's that again?
Yeah, that's me. But February, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
You did explain the fireworks thing last day, so I remember you saying that, yeah.
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person. I'd like to speak to a lawyer now.
Ooh.
You have no murder weapon. You have nothing.
That's a sign of guilt.
And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that.
Oh, they're still going for you in India, huh? That's nice. They died out over here in Pennsylvania. It's all quiet now. We're still going here. That's why I'm not doing ASMR right now. Interesting. And a session. That's what I'm getting. I'm logged in as an authorized guest.
You think it's murder?
Dash the stream, I could hear them. Yeah, see, that's why I didn't do it. Exactly.
What can I do to help?
Am I supposed to sew these together? These subtitles, anti-glare. No, we want the real stuff. Although this is kind of obnoxious. Yeah, that glare up there was pretty bad. Not gonna lie. Logic database. Instant file access. Clip stored in user session. Rubbish bin.
Yeah, that's me. But February, that was months ago.
94.
What's that got
Nice.
to do with Simon's murder?
Okay, I'm looking at the dates. Hold on. Thank you, Parrot. 94.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon.
Okay, so what exactly am I looking for now? Confession. Making poppets. I'm getting a little tired. I'm gonna look. All right, Parrot. No worries. Okay, so nothing under making wappets. Did I do lawyer? Aha.
Can I leave? Are you going to arrest me? No. They'd laugh you out of the building. A lawyer would make mincemeat of you.
Interesting. So we're talking, I have clips from January, now February, all the way to March.
Yes, I understand my rights. No, I don't need a lawyer.
Oh, okay, so in January she... Okay, interesting.
Yes, no lawyer. What are you going to arrest me for?
Haha, suspect. I got a little bit more of my Steam list organized, but my eyes started to hurt, so I stopped.
When you suspect someone of murdering their husband.
Yeah, ooh, I like this. Clip D 143. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
I'll just relish this.
Okay. So you want to eliminate me as a suspect?
Mac the Star, what's up? Happy 4th. Let's see.
That should eliminate me as a suspect. If I was in Glasgow, can't be in two places at once.
Okay, let's look up Glasgow. Ooh, look at all the stuff we found here. Have this game so far. It's tricky to put stuff together. I've heard about it. I'm just listening to words that she's saying, and then I'm typing them in. I've never played this. I've never watched Chrissy play it, but I figure that if I just go based on certain words that she's saying or words that I would use, so I used suspect, crime, weapon, wappets, you know, I've pieced together some stuff.
So I got in the car and I drove. And just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow.
Why did she have to leave, though?
I was so tired. Just had to sleep.
Okay, that's very sus. Why did it, you don't just up and go somewhere, right? Slendermug, how's it going? Let's see. I have this game so far tricky to put stuff together. Damn, her clips aren't that good if they're at least 10 seconds. This is like a 1994 computer though. This is only PC, so I haven't played it, but I do have other games telling lies. I have that on my my wish list on Steam. I have about 200 games on my wish list. Damn Steam sales. I bought a shit ton of games and I added even quadrupled that.
I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past.
Okay.
I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a
Showered
pastry.
night eating.
Tried calling someone from the payphone.
Oh, exclamation point PS4. Just do that one. Should pop up. Garbage truck.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year.
Okay, Simon and Eric.
It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste.
Diane, okay.
That time, you must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then. No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning. When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty.
Murder.
I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me.
Why didn't...
But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine.
Interesting. Arcadia, long time no see. How are you doing?
Looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
Can we get a shout out for Pierre Arcadia, please? It's been a while. You know what's funny is I still think about your tarot reading. There's things that I'm working on that it lines up with what it's crazy. I'll have to message you. Like, it's pretty nuts. What's going on with Diane? Ha! Okay, one thing I gotta say. Never. Why, hello, it's me again. Okay, oh, thanks. I was thinking about the reading the other day and how everything was going. But how is this game? This game's interesting. I literally just popped it in. I've been playing it for about 12 minutes now, and I'm listening to her words, and then everything that, I don't know if you can see, everything I've got down here are things that kind of make me scratch my chin. I'm like, okay. She said the name Diane. And then, but yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot you a message and just be like, what is going on with this thing? I'm sure there's some tips and tricks I'd piece together on YouTube. I could watch that, but it would take the fun out. Like, you know, I think see, that's perfect, that's sus emote. But speaking of sus, never trust a girl that wears a t-shirt and plays a guitar. Never trust the girl that plays a guitar, wears a t-shirt on camera. They are the worst.
Are you fucking kidding me, Kurt?
Human beings on the planet. Definitely sorry I haven't been able to... No, you're fine, you're fine. Well, I mean, can you trust though? Oh, wow. Wow. Spicy.
Simon and Eric arguing?
I trust Arcadia.
I can't imagine they'd be arguing. They get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist.
Simon, we need to...
I don't know. You should ask Diane.
It's spicy. Ooh, okay, so I can put that there.
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Pregnancy
Diane's really
too.
Nice. She helps out with the Glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing.
No, but Pure Arcadia's
She has two
female.
kids. Really sweet kids.
Let's see, do I have any?
She used to look out for me.
Oh, I do. I do. But everyone knows you're joking. Everyone knows you're joking. You're good. My game just pooped on me.
Not really.
I am indeed a
We go to the
female. Not
pub.
well, Arcadia's
He
saying
had
that,
his
not me.
drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning a favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients.
I like basic ingredients.
And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off CFAX, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines.
Is Slender playing Borderlands, I guess?
I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
Okay. Let's look at pregnancy. Okay, so we got 2. Because she claimed she was pregnant. What was she
Yes.
running away from?
I inherited it from
With
my
no
parents.
license,
That made
she's
sense
pregnant.
to move back, me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
Yes, I was a fan. I am a fan of the Winter Soldier. That you could look it up on Xbox. You can. Whoa, Joe Serena, we got a you. Your sub. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you. I took a couple days off. I wasn't doing too hot, mentally, emotionally, whatever you want to call it, and I took some days off, and now I'm back. And then Joe's just super supportive. Yeah, vibing. I see you. But yes, as I was saying, Winter Soldier. Yes, I actually, if you look up on Xbox and PlayStation, I made that name in like 2007. I'm a huge fan of the Ed Brubaker comic books. I'm actually wearing a Captain America shirt right now, actually. I have a Bucky statue there. I've got a Bucky poster from the comic books. So yeah, I've been into his character the whole time. That sub though, I know. Year. Nice hat. Yeah, Ushenka. Yeah. Actually, in COD, I have an Ushenka charm. Yeah, I was absolutely rooting for him to get the shield in the show because he should have. He got the shield in the book first too, before Sam did. So. Plus, he's a super soldier. I thought he should have got it.
Hannah had a miscarriage. This was late.
July 3rd, 94.
It left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its course.
You ever feel like that?
We're aligned again.
I feel like sometimes the universe has me on like this weird path, and
But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Eric had given him a full-time position after he left school. And then
Can you imagine the guy interrogating her? He's like looking at Chad at the same time. She's like confessing. He's just like talking about Sam and Bucky. Well, in the movies, okay, yeah, in the movies, Steve gives it to Sam. Maybe Steve sees something in the alternate timeline or the future that we don't know about with Sam. I don't know. Or I know in the comic books there's a point where Steve took the shield back from Bucky because he had a dream that if Bucky becomes Captain America one more time, he gets killed for good. So I know Steve took the shield back and then gave it to Sam to protect Bucky. I do know that. So they could, with Loki's time travel and the TVA, they could kind of delve into maybe something along the lines there. If you look at episode 1 of Bucky, a woman gets arrested, looks like Peggy Carter. So maybe that dance cost her. Maybe she got arrested. Always a possibility. But let's see. I think I hope you feel better when your mental struggles. Oh, why? Well, Pelvis Megan, I love your name, by the way. I've been in my fair share, and I'll let you know how terrible and tiring it can be. Yeah, I just yeah, it's just I need to correct on how I see things or how I perceive things, I guess. And it's just taking someone very special to kind of point that out, and I'm like, I need to fix that. So, and I you know, it's, I don't know. It's just something long overdue for me to have like better relationships. I need to do this. So I had to take some time off, and I'm on the course of like getting like advice and help I need. So yeah, I was thinking, I just feel like this is a game you should pay attention to the dialogue more than read the chat. Well then, you guys need to shut up. Just kidding. I can do both. I'm an ambidextrous listener. How dare you?
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon.
Simon and I.
Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
Well, you know what? That's it. That's fine. All right, here we go. Just kidding. Just kidding. It's just bad joke. Okay, so let's type in Simon. Let's see what we get with Simon. Haha. Haha.
Simon.
Ooh, my brother's
Simon
birthday.
Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things.
Wow.
My brother's birthday in 94. How old was he in 94? He was 20... Was he 27? I forget. He's born in 77. My math is off.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. I bought a photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
Back in the days, guys, we used to have to take pictures and we'd have to take them to like Long's or what you guys call CVS and get them developed or Costco. And you'd have to wait sometimes a week to find out if your picture sucked, whereas with the phone you can just kind of see it right away. Nothing worse than when you get your picture back and it would be garbage. And you're just like, oh, I was there, I had the moment, and I blew it because my eyes were crossed or I'm making a dumb face.
It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run by a nice
The
couple,
Rock.
Peter and
The
Susan.
Rock.
There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they have sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Okay. The Rock. Why are our outfits getting formal and nicer if it's a double standard for a women's prison? She's not in prison, she's just being questioned. So if you notice the dates, it's all 1994. I've seen it go from January, and we're all the way in June now. So they've been questioning her for 5 months on this murder. So I'm curious, what are they finding that's making them bring her back for 5 months?
Yes, there's an Amstrad one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games.
I play games.
And Save the Princess.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Let me real quick. I'm gonna ignore chat for a sec.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build.
I need the name of the bar.
He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger
Robert
hair.
Stack.
I bought a photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
No, I need the name of the bar. She went to a bar.
Simon Smith. He
Okay.
works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass.
Okay, so we're gonna
Simon
save.
does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows.
Okay, let's save that. And then was it this one?
It's the Rockington Arms.
There we go. Because we need to look up. So I've learned in math problems, sometimes they give you multiple, or they might give you some facts that don't matter, but like names and dates usually matter. So you always want to take that into account. And I know that she's being, when I hear something very specific, I can look up a term for, a name or a bar or where they worked. It doesn't sound like she's being questioned. That sounds like she's just having a conversation with one of her friends, so comfortable. Well, I mean, if you were innocent, right? If you were innocent, you wouldn't be like, you'd be like, yeah, so-and-so worked here, so-and-so worked there. Like, you wouldn't. Or if you were a total cluster B narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, you could probably have one of those conversations. I'm going to go, y'all. Have a nice stream day, night. Sorry, I can't stay longer. Well, hello to me again. I'm sorry. I'll see you later. Hope you have a good one. Slurk doing a bit of gaming. Wow, Slender. Wow. You know what, Slender? Take that. How dare you. Gaming. Nerd. That's good. It's been a while.
Simon
teasing.
Isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or
Done something to
there
him.
must have been some kind of accident.
That's another word I need to look up. Accident.
Something did next.
Okay, so let's save that one.
No. No. No.
Okay. Okay. Let's type in accident.
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point, and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I
Ooh.
read the diary that day, and I left. Walked out and across the street.
Oh. Oh. This is like. Do you hear that music? I think I got something. Yeah. Unless you're a sociopath and don't feel anything when you lie. Yes. So yeah, Resident Evil Revelations 2 is literally 77 cents. I just gifted it to you. Oh, thank you. I think that's episode 1, but thank you. I'll take that. I'll take it. Thank you, Water. Okay. She burned the mom's diary and left. And then she was in an accident. Let's say she always mentions the name Eric. Ha. Interesting.
He was wearing a shirt.
Okay, so shirt. We need to type in shirt.
A blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
I used to watch Paddington Bear in elementary school as a kid. I just wish the sale would last. Yeah, if it lasted until Friday, I'd be in much better shape.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. He had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock. That's our local.
Mm-hmm.
He said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again.
Okay.
So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't had anything either.
Okay, let's save that because I remember. I mean, I'm not writing this down. I'm just going off the top of my head. Did she didn't she just kind of drive to Glasgow? We have to look at the dates on that. If you know what I mean. Oscar, what's up? Hey, what's going on? Oscar, yeah. I'm not doing ASMR today, but it's good to see you from Dear Tina's stream. What's up? I'm playing a game, it's basically like murder mystery, and I'm listening to interrogations to see if I find any sus.
Yes, there's a car that we share.
She is changing her story.
Cavalier. And a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
Okay. Okay. Did I save the last one? Did I save this one?
So, it was Friday evening.
Okay, we're saving that one too. Because she named a specific date. And then the other one she's naming off cars. Didn't she crash one of them? 14 entries found. Access limited to the first 5 entries. No! Just chilling while my whole block is... Yeah, it's fighting World War III. That's why I'm not doing ASMR, because you'd hear like, alright guys, poof, poof, poof. And then you guys are like hearing like, you know, shots fired and fireworks and stuff like that. I'm just like, alright guys, so like, yeah, it's not gonna work. So that's why I normally would do an ASMR stream today, but it wouldn't make sense, you know.
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa.
Oh, you never leave home without it.
He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash.
Smart man.
Eric convinced him to get one.
How are you gonna let another dude convince you to do that? Okay, so we have Eric, and then did I type in Simon? I did. The Rock. Okay.
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I guess The Rock.
She looks like shit in each
We've
video.
spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong. No one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago. Someone sang with you from The Rock.
This was the 30th, so that's 12 days later. Okay. Is it June now? Well, it depends. Sometimes I can go back. It depends on which clips I watch, and it depends on what I'm typing in to look up. You know you're getting real when the fireworks start sound like gunshots. Yeah. I mean, my neighborhood's pretty safe. Nona Bear is my sister. She's... I just beg, honey, stay on the ground. But yeah. I mean, it could be worse. I could be in Texas. You know, that would be even worse. Or Pennsylvania. That would be really. Where's that one at? But I'm just teasing Water and Slender.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year.
So didn't she say that
It
he
was a wedding anniversary gift.
she liked his
Steal.
watch?
It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time.
This year,
Not
to be honest,
really.
wasn't actually crazy. It's
I
pretty-
was in Glasgow then.
Do I really have to bust out the notepad? Do I have to? I think I might have to bust out the notebook. Okay. no lie, I carry about 3 of these things. I have one at my desk here. I've got one that I'm kind of transferring all of the stuff, handwriting them all into my new one. But if I get ideas for like streaming or whatever, I'll just write it in there. As a matter of fact, I have a friend of mine who's inspiring me to make a couple more lists because I've got to stay on my toes about genres of things and writing them in there and stuff. But yeah, I keep these with me all the time. So like, I think I might have to like. I just legit might have to start writing what she's saying, because my eyebrows are raising, and I have to write down the dates too. The dates that she's. Excuse me. Or can I make notes here? Can I write stuff down? Can I make notes? I can. All right. So can I?
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it.
Cavalier.
Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked on the street.
Right. 2 cars. Cavalier. Aha! It's stuck. I almost feel like I should play like a faster paced game for you guys, like COD or something. Should I put on? Okay, maybe I'll do. Should I do Tex Murphy? Would you guys rather see Tex Murphy? Or are you guys okay with this game? Because I wanted to do something that's kind of chill. There's a game I'm gonna get called Truckastrophe, I think, or something. Truckageddon. It's on my Steam list, but you're basically jumping from truck to truck to truck to truck, and it's like a puzzle game. It's kind of hypnotic.
It's the Rockington Arms.
Rockington Arms. There we go.
It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan.
I'll take whatever. This is kind of interesting.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
So is she trying to say that is it possible accident?
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point, and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day.
Oh, gold-9'd. Ooh, type in mother.
Okay. There's a girl, and she's staring out of the window. She's sad. She's trapped. She's here. She's looking out the window because her mother won't let her out.
That's projection. Okay. It's kind of funny. I want to play as Snake again in MGS2, but Raiden has so many guns, I kind of don't want to change back. That's interesting.
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince. And Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened.
Okay.
She throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
Interesting. Okay, so do you catch the theme here? Do you catch... There's a theme here. Okay, so her mother isn't her real mother. And she was projecting... This is the second time she's mentioned mother and being locked away. She's mentioned this now twice. Interesting. She's clearly projecting. Clip D143 again. My heart. Let's listen to that again.
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch,
Takes
takes
Rapunzel from her parents.
and keeps her locked up
Her mother,
in this tower.
adopted mother, kept her locked
Rapunzel
up.
gets pregnant by the prince. And Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it.
She got pregnant.
Her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending.
I actually got an achievement called Happy Ending just now. Furious cuts off her hair. Rapunzel gets pregnant. She got pregnant by Simon. Okay. Throws her. Is that why she fled to Glasgow? Interesting. We're saving this one. Themes.
I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother.
Let's see.
She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah. Simon wanted to call her Ava after Sarah.
I gotta clip this.
Such a cool name.
Interesting. That actually affects... there's a parallel in my real life with that. I'll clip it, don't worry. That's very
My
interesting.
mother called me Eve. My mother called me Eve.
Eve, okay. So typically with cluster B personalities or narcissists, they usually go by aliases. They make up different names because it's different people, new me, new personality. She was saying Sarah went by Ava. She is I forget her name, but her mother's calling her Eve. Interesting. So technically she could have killed him as Eve, but then her as herself could disassociate from that because she's like, well, Eve did it, I didn't.
Well, she wasn't my real mother, but she raised me.
Okay,
Do you want to take a story?
let's do it.
It's a real life fairy tale.
Again, fairy tale. Rapunzel. She's drawing it back to Rapunzel. Two personalities, yes. Fairy tale. Did I not call it? Did I not friggin' call it? I said that she's projecting. The Rapunzel thing was pure projection. Okay. That's very interesting discovery. Eve. Haha! Look at that. Look at all the juicy bits we got with Eve. Okay. So. Let's look at. We need to click on this one. She looks very defeated. New name.
What are you doing talking about you?
Her name's Hannah. Oh, there we go. She's referring, that's her. She's Hannah. Do you see the way she's referring to Eve as if they're different people? Do you see that? Ha! Ha! Nobody was in there. Gotcha. Hannah and Eve. Definite guilt.
The police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off. I mean, we'd saved money, pitched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve.
See?
So my parents let me off.
Am I not calling it? Am I not calling it? She's doing things and she's blaming it on Eve because she's Hannah, but she's also Eve. Dude, I could totally be a detective. Haha, okay. Blaming Eve. Even.
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once and I held Eve's head underwater. There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach. And
she held her own head.
I held her head under and I kept it out. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown.
No,
But
you're...
that was it. It was just a moment. We made up after. It was a love-hate relationship.
No, it says she is so... Okay, this is just me kind of going out on a limb here. So she's trying to bury the split personality into her subconscious. Water typically represents emotion. So it sounds like she's trying to bury her split personality in her emotions. That's what I'm thinking. Bury split personality and subconscious? Let's see. Listen to the music playing. We know we're on to something big. 7 entries found. Access limits of the first 5 entries. Got it.
Well, my friend Eve.
My friend Eve.
I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, really hate her sometimes.
You can't control her. Okay, let's type up, let's split personality. It's like, oh wow, it's there. Okay. Psych. Psychiatrist? I probably spelled that wrong. No. Seven entries found. I only get 5 though. Childhood. Ooh, okay.
Childhood sweethearts. Something like that. Are you married, detective?
Now, she's being questioned for murder. Her name's Hannah. She's being questioned for murder, right? And she is nonchalantly just hitting on the detective, which means there is definitely cluster B, no remorse. This is definitely those like Jodi Arias kind of levels of, you know, of messed up.
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too.
That's
A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull out Hannah's to match.
there we go.
Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl.
It was Eve.
The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and
'Cause she's
punched
Eve.
her in the face. Gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me.
Look at that.
Too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snuck a frozen pizza for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies were synchronized anyway.
Of course.
A period on the same day.
Uh-huh.
Childhood diseases,
Yep.
stomach bugs, nits.
You're the same person. Same person. Okay, Hannah. Oh, she's up to a freaking polygraph.
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith.
Hannah Smith.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Why, sorry, Eve. So I wonder. This is a game, yeah, Travgeek. This is a game. It's on Steam. It was on sale. I believe it was on sale. Steam's having a huge sale, and I love full motion videos. I love 90s stuff. So, I didn't want to do ASMR today. I wanted to do a chill game, and like playing this, you have to listen in for clues and then type it into the search, and then you're piecing together this confession to see if you can find a crime. And I've got her dead to rights. I've got her dead to rights. She definitely did it. But was it, I want to say, because Eve is the one that's more like rambunctious, right? She slept with people. Hannah was the one that was getting the grief. I'm thinking that Eve murdered Simon. Yeah, Eve murdered Simon.
My name is Hannah. H-A-N-N-A-H. It's palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, you get the idea.
Like race car.
Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
Save that.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time.
So we're talking to Eve right now.
The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. but I wasn't.
Yes.
She wrote all this stuff in a diary.
She
Amazing
burned
what
it.
people will admit to on paper.
Okay. Diary.
She recognized me from the window.
One type in
She told me to come
twins.
inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
Fairy tale and twins. Okay, let's type in twins. See what comes up. Okay, we are onto something. Okay, and then let's type in fairy tales real quick. Fairy tales. Oh shit. Okay.
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
Okay, so they're. Why is look at my computer going black? Not twins. Split personalities. I got her.
Are you out of your mind? Twins?
She scoffs at the thought.
Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up, take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion.
Okay. So, maybe I'm seeing things here. But Hannah is in dark colors. Eve is in light colors. I wonder if there is a theme with the clothing that represents who I'm talking to.
There were always princes and princesses.
Again with the fairy
They were
tales.
the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses.
See?
We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did.
Yeah, right
And
before she
later,
died.
when her life went so bad,
Mm-hmm.
we felt for her.
She died like 2 years later, I think. 3
Her
years later.
divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
Okay. So Hannah is not aware of Eve. Or maybe she is, but... Which one of the personalities is more... Which one of the personalities is more... What's the word I'm looking for? Malicious. I want to say it's Eve. But Eve is very like, I've got sisters, I was hidden, yada yada yada. Hannah's like, I don't know what you're talking about. But she tried to drown her. No, I think that was Eve trying to drown Hannah, I think, if I remember.
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite.
Mm-hmm.
My brain is just full of it.
See? It's because she relates to it.
In colour.
Rapunzel. We're gonna save that one.
And the Glaziers.
She has
I
a
worked there
tattoo?
some weekends, and Simon had a part-time job there too. That was Eric's generosity. He was always good at helping out other people's children. Simon was quiet, more thoughtful than the other boys. Even then, he had a sense of craftsmanship. Wasn't always rushing stuff. Boys that age are just running around like headless chickens most of the time. You know? Plus, he had that look.
See?
He looked like a fairy tale prince
So,
from one of my books.
I can speak from experience. I'm usually a magnet for cluster bees because I'm more of an empath and more of an introvert. And so Simon, when she was talking about him being quiet and reserved and all this other stuff, I'm like, oh, she's drawn to him. And she literally paralleled that with the fairy tale.
Simon never cheated on me.
She never had that
He was
before.
devoted to me, and I was devoted to him. Nothing in life was easy. We were good to each other. Life isn't a fairy tale.
And she punished him for it.
I didn't care. Fairy tales. Stories about lost princesses, evil witches,
Her mother.
magical mirrors, and lost children.
Lost
See,
children.
Even before I knew the truth, I'd found it in those stories.
Mirrors, huh? Alright. Mirrors. Ooh! Ooh, look what we're doing. Who are you looking? Who's looking back at you?
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror. A nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
Because he's a craftsman. Okay.
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since. Silverleaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good.
It's because she's looking back.
Mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Oh, see, because she's not. It's the personality looking back at you. Tattoo. We got some. We are on a roll, and then we still have to look up Rapunzel.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos.
What about you, though?
He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago.
Broken glass?
It's just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off with the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read.
Cut himself with some glass. Let's listen to that again.
Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago.
Okay.
Properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
Okay. Interesting. Yes, let's talk about yours.
Oh, my tattoo?
Yes,
I got it to express my individuality.
which you don't have.
It's an apple and a snake.
Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve. The snake and the apple. Even. Ference. We're gonna type in Adam soon.
So I moved out. Got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings. So I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of you don't. That's very clear.
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness.
Okay.
Guessed my name from my tattoo.
Yeah, Adam and Eve.
Told me it was a palindrome. Like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to
No,
him.
that's not why you got the tattoo. That's Eve he's
It
talking
was
to.
amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking.
He's probably married to your other
He
personality.
later told me it was like he was dreaming,
Oh, it's Hannah. He's married to Hannah.
a waking dream.
So let's go back really quick. He's fascinated by the likeness. So it could be the likeness between Hannah and Eve, or
Fascinated.
cluster bees. Cluster bees like to do something called mirroring, or soulmate manufacturing. So if you say you like something, they like it too. They love it. They also have grandiose self-image, so he was amazed by her singing and stuff. Interesting. Let's type in Adam. Let's... Married. A lot of marrying stuff.
There's no couple stuff. A stupid argument, nothing specific. No one knows how to push your buttons better than those you're close to.
Yeah.
A long time. We got married when I was 17.
Okay. How old was he though?
When you've been married for 10 years, stuff accumulates. We could argue about it.
That was a line. She was just
He's so
17.
That doesn't help. He tries to smooth things over, and that just makes it worse.
Because narcissists do circular
We're
talk.
aggressive, so we never normally argue directly about anything.
Narcissist circular talk. You can never win. The goalpost always moves. Wait. She was 17, so according to her story, she was singing when she met him, and he was blown away by it, and he was married.
I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We
Okay.
weren't even in the room, and they decided we should get married.
Was it arranged?
I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room, and they decided we should get married.
More Rapunzel references.
Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again? Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? Could they We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Let's look up hairs.
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper and dressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart.
No, they were
The
super
princess pricks her finger.
super grim. Like what is it? Cinderella in the original, she puts her mom and like her stepsisters in hot iron shoes, I believe. It makes them dance to death. Like they literally burn alive in them, like these hot iron shoes. Yeah. Hairs. There we go. Again, can't trust a girl with a guitar and a t-shirt. Can't do it.
You want me to play something?
Wow.
I'm not the world's greatest guitar player.
Heard that one before.
Okay? Probably needs tuning.
All I do are bits, no matter what.
How about a traditional?
Sorry. And it says 143. That's sweet.
Two sisters came walking by the sea.
She's at the beach.
Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind down.
She's talking about killing Eve.
So they both had a love for the captain's
Whale shit.
oh, the wind and the rain. But he only cared for the youngest one. All the dreadful wind. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the
This is
rain.
confession.
With a pretty little face and a long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain. Watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind.
Can I get this on iTunes? Let's get
Well, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind and the rain. Floated till a ship came by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Out comes the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. Father dear, here swims and swan. Oh, the dreadful
Yeah.
wind and rain.
And then it gets really weird, so I think that's a good place to stop.
Okay. Traditional ballad. Yeah, that's Confession. Confession 1. Let's look up songs really quick. Song.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it.
Hmm.
And it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before.
Didn't he meet you
It was
singing?
probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
Okay. Guitar.
No. No, Simon didn't play guitar. He wasn't very musical. He liked to listen, but
Narc,
he was
narc.
tone deaf.
So I think play guitar. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it's my guitar.
Let's see. Captain. Aha!
Really? Here's the rest.
Ooh, we got the rest.
Laid a body on the dock tonight. Oh, the wind and the rain. Till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the
Interesting
rain.
question after this.
Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone. Oh, the wind and rain. The sound could pierce a heart of stone. Oh, the dreadful wind and
She's recycling her sister? Jeez. Her sister?
But the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the wind and the rain.
Hmm.
Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
So. Okay.
Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
Final part of this story. Well, no, we're slowly piecing it together. Actually, that's the thing. I'm literally. So this whole game is me listening to these 10-second clips and then going, okay, she's saying keywords. I look up keywords and then it kind of, at least my experience with cluster bees, caused me to go, okay, so like the thing I wanted to bring up. Does she not view herself as having... does she not view herself as a brunette? Does she view herself as a blonde? Because it sounds like she views... maybe Eve as the blonde and Hannah's the brunette. It sounds like she might have a distorted self-image. Does that make sense? Let's type in blonde. Okay, we got some new clips.
I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He
Okay.
likes Helen. He likes blondes.
Okay, new name. Helen. Blonde. So it was a crime of passion. It was jealousy. Interesting.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything.
See?
Have you looked at the cat flap?
Okay. I think we're getting somewhere. See, I think with the personality going on and off, there's an appearance change, and I think that appearance is either maybe she doesn't see herself as having brunette hair, or she puts on a wig. Haha. Let's type in wig, and we got more.
A wig? You mean? But what type of wig?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
No, I've never worn a wig.
Fucking
What
liar.
kind of wig?
Look at her squirm. Look at her squirm.
No. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing the wig.
There we go. That's Eve talking.
Hannah and I would meet up in the park.
That's Eve talking.
I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers.
Oh my god.
Drunk guys I'd met in clubs,
Cluster B.
parks, and
Yeah.
plays.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was 17. It felt like I was being punished.
Wheat, what's up? So,
Hannah betrayed us.
we are...
I had to stop when one of the guys gave me this.
Oh no.
When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed.
She probably wasn't wearing the
If
wig.
anything, I was getting skinnier. I had a hard to look sometimes.
Ooh, okay.
We
Because
talked about what to do.
narcissist,
Was it time to become our own
Or-
people? And that seemed like the right thing to do,
um,
but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
there's another term, I forgot the name of it. Yeah, no, seriously. Attic, pregnancy, promiscuity. Maybe. So this is a murder mystery, and we're listening to tapes of her getting questioned, and we're trying to figure out how she did it or if she did it. And I'm saying that it is split personality. And so we're putting it's clearly a crime of passion. So I'm thinking he probably saw her cheating, but since it's Eve cheating, maybe he had an open relationship, maybe he went to Hannah, or not Hannah, but Helen, and then maybe Eve killed Simon. But okay, histrionic. Sounds like she's got histrionic personality disorder. How long is this game supposed to be? I don't know. I think it's just depending on how you listen and what words you look up. I think she definitely has histrionic personality disorder. She's kind of getting off on like, what's the voyeurism? It's out in the open, being promiscuous with whoever. Definitely, I think she has a case of histrionic.
This was about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing, she tore it off.
See, 9 years old, she's wearing a wig.
Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left.
Okay.
Yes. I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play out there and make up our own stories.
Minute 9. This gotta be juicy.
I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. And they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful
That's
thing.
what she said.
Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was
Look at her smile.
We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
Look at her. Look, that's... No. See? That's another thing with cluster bees. They have no remorse. So killing or, like, torturing insects or animals... Red flag. Huge red flag. Let's type in broken. Broken mirror. Mirrors are a huge theme
Florence
for her,
was a
too.
warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also
Diaries,
found a
too.
biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters.
Is Florence
that
her
kind of thing.
adopted mother?
Her story wasn't there. I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand, I guess. I just put it together later, once I was older.
I'm thinking...
She had love, children, planned to have a large family. But her husband died in the war.
Is Florence her adopted
And that was
mother?
back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But I guess it was different then.
Yeah, Eve, yeah.
Married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. Honour the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know. It happened very quickly. We
Florence.
hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather
What?
than have it linger.
Whoa.
Better to keep the body in the house than
Whoa, hold up.
her clothes. We had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered.
Okay.
We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone.
Okay.
We took him down to the cellar.
Took him down. Okay.
We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later.
She
We
stabbed him.
wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch,
Dude,
to make sure the alibi stuck.
confession too? What? What the fuck? Okay. Alibi? Basement. Body? Okay. They kept the body in the basement. They kept Simon's body in the basement. Yeah, I'm fucking figuring. Am I gonna crack this case on the first stream? Like, I think I'm gonna crack it.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes.
She hit herself.
I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body.
Huh. Okay. Sure.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Sam's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed, and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over.
Sewing.
I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back. And that's when I saw the bin bags.
Poison, maybe? Let's see.
Pulled them open,
That's a...
saw the body. I screamed and that's when I called the police.
Okay. I'm not trying to be sexist, but poison is typically referred to as a woman's weapon. So if she's in a wine cellar, could she have poisoned Simon? Interesting. So I'll tell you real quick what I've been writing down. So these are keywords that I want to look up. Cheating, baby, diary, weapon, cellar, poison.
His body didn't look real.
Because you kept him down there forever. He's decomposing.
His throat.
She slit his
His
throat.
throat had been cut.
Oh my lord, okay. Glass?
And I didn't see his glasses. There's these thick glasses.
Throat,
Doesn't always work.
glasses. Well, we've just established the way he died. Definitely got the Jodi Arias vibes.
Can you imagine? I tried. I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen.
Because you're already pregnant.
I slept with so many boys.
Oh,
My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty. I mean, how could we stay the same now? I felt like Hannah had really fucked things up.
yeah, 'cause she's already pregnant.
Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
That's the nastiest thing I ever seen you do.
Okay. She's very
No,
big on
He
diaries.
doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl.
Yeah.
Helps make sense of my day. When you're forced to put something into words, just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page.
If they're both reading the same diary, right? So when I went to therapy, I was told, and it's a good idea. So I would write down my thoughts and feelings, like if they were bad, right? You write them down, and then you go back to it like a week later, days later, and see. It usually looks and feels different. You don't feel that same way that you've written down. So ever since then, I always keep one with me. It is not a diary,
Way of
though.
life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things.
Your
And we
diarrhea.
were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation.
Okay.
It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. And we would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
Like murder. Oh, we're getting to the throat. You killed him with the thing he fucking made. Wow.
How?
Murder weapon.
Like
You
I said
know,
before, it was
whoever
three.
did this is gonna die tonight.
I walked in. Like I said before, it was 3,
3.
something like that. I walked in,
Very good.
saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room.
She took him down to the basement.
His throat had been cut.
Bingo.
There was a lot of blood.
Look at her smile. A little
He
smile.
said,
Yeah, see that smile? Just like the moth. Just like the moth thing. Place of death.
her story is that she'd waited for him to come back.
There we go.
She put on my wig, put on my clothes.
Oh, Santa's
and
complicit.
seen me.
Yep.
They talked. She'd enjoyed being me.
Mm-hmm.
He said he wanted to be with me.
He likes the freaky
And
girl.
took out a present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Killed
They
him with it.
argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open.
There we go. Boom.
She'd only meant to scare him off.
We got it right there. And was this Confession 3? Can I piece these together?
The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You can probably check that. We don't go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need.
That's where you put him.
Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape.
Mm.
I think it was ours. Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people have been there through my things. It's like I've been burgled.
Burgled, I like that
Worse,
word.
Obviously. I don't know. I haven't lived in the cellar yet.
Got a lot of sugar in that
Sent a
coffee.
cleaner in. As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out.
Okay.
And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation.
I bet you like that.
So,
Yep. Whatever. Am I right about poison though? Did she try poison? It's fucking. Let's. Okay. Okay. I knew poison was.
at the time they said it was poison. Food poisoning. I mean, I felt so guilty. If I'd still been at home, maybe I could have done something. I don't know.
She's trying to kill him.
I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids.
Woo!
So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon.
He's equating poison to
It's never
Simon.
just been the two of us. There's always been pressure.
Interesting. The word poison popped into my head. Can I piece this together? Okay. So, something I don't. Am I supposed to get her to just straight up confess? Glass.
Look, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it by hand.
That sucked to get killed by the thing he
He
made.
brushes the silver onto the glass. It's not how they make mirrors these days. He made the mirror, and he gave it to me.
So we're talking to Eve. I literally got her to confess on stream, though. I feel
No.
pretty good.
I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
Glasses. Did I type in weapon? Move. Oops. Move. What is this? Move body. Blood. I don't know.
Okay. I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records? Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. Blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Narcissist. Dude gets murdered. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Total narcissist. Histrionic. Cluster B.
She
Narcissist.
sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day.
She sneak it up. Sneakity sneak.
And she had blood on her. And she was in shock. Yes.
She got her
It
water.
was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible. I don't know what he I mean, I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby.
Miscarriage.
I wasn't really ready to talk to him about
Did
it.
she have the kid? Hold on for a sec. Did I spell that right? Ooh! Because she obviously didn't have the kid, and she's claiming that the car accident was the cause of the. Lost the baby.
I had a miscarriage at 8 months.
There we go.
We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after.
That's dirty. Did she kill him when she was pregnant? 8 months.
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life.
Everything's about her.
Miscarriage and then my parents. Yeah. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days.
Her
one
parents?
noticed. Just awful.
Look at her smile.
It was so soon after my miscarriage. The worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that, it was just like, fuck.
She murdered her parents? What? Did I just stumble into another case? What? Murdered parents? What?
Yeah. I mean, I
You
was
see her
infertile.
smile?
Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications.
Parents? Dead. Okay.
That's all that matters, really. The baby. Simon's dead, but the baby,
Is also dead.
that's how he will live on.
And the parents are dead.
Our baby. You're reaching here, and I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone.
Except for the whole Denver Broncos football team. Liar.
Simon's dead. But I have my baby to care.
You don't have a baby. And you sure as hell aren't pregnant.
Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs? You cheated on your wife.
Projection. Projection. Projection.
It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
Am I gonna look up Oxford?
Rehearsed. You ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer.
Ah,
Is
bullshit.
that your evidence? Of course.
That's why they keep bringing her back.
It's all I've thought. My husband is dead.
Let's look up Dad. What? Because I've hit all the markers. I'm glad, Sarah. I'll be waiting outside log out. What the fuck? do I log off? What do I... Database checker?
Hey, look!
Top left, imagine being this tonight. I guess that's how far I am. Top left. You were logged in, right? Okay. Oh. The reflection. So I solved it. I solved it. I was Sarah. I beat the game. I was about to get her to... I think she murdered her parents. Dude. I beat the game. In less than 2 hours because I'm... you know? I was about to get her for killing the milkman and the dog too. I'm just kidding. Okay, Dang, I didn't even... Do you see all the things I didn't have to get her to admit to? I went to the meat. Just because I was listening to keywords, and then I'm like, I know cluster Bs, I know what's going on. There's tons of clubs. Sorry, I don't know. Just gotta sit up a little. Okay. So who am I gonna raid? Who am I gonna raid? That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed getting her to... I freaking cracked that case so quick. You know, I don't know who we're gonna raid tonight. I don't think we're gonna raid anybody. I think we're good. But, alright guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out, and we're just chilling, and we got to solve the case. It's pretty cool. But alright guys, have a good night. Stay safe on 4th of July, and I will see you. I might be on tomorrow morning. You know, I do like my sleep, so we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But have a good night, guys, and catch you later.